Hi everyone, Maxine here with Tink and I Treasures. Welcome back to my studio. I have a very small Temu purchase to share with you today. It's very limited on what I got. I got this stamp, which I thought this would be a lot of fun. I believe all this stuff is removable. I don't know, let me see. Because if it is, then that would be pretty awesome. Okay, well, there it is. Okay, so we have the stamp. Yes. So you have the outline, the border, which is separate from all this stuff inside, so you can mix and match and use what you want. So that's pretty cool. I like that. This, however, is a big no. This stuff is horrible. It's called masking tape, and it's a roll of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rolls that were in it. That's what it looks like, number 186. Do not purchase this. It is ridiculous. This tape has less adhesive than washi tape does. Seriously, washi tape has more adhesive than this stuff. This is absolutely garbage. Don't buy it. I'm sorry it's gonna glare on you. I got this metal pan. I believe it was called like a snack tray or something like that. Anyway, I got it to put underneath my water for my watercolors, if you can see that. I thought, oh, it's a nice little tray for these to sit on and maybe help with any kind of spills I might get. The other thing I got that I wanted to share with you today is this watercolor set. Now, it says it's fine artist watercolors. I ain't gonna take that with a grain of salt. I don't know. There isn't any name brand that I can see, unless it's all written in Chinese. But yeah, I can't see any name brand, so fine artists, take that with a grain of salt. But for junk journalists, if you want to, play around with watercolors, add watercolor to backgrounds, or do some other things with adding color to tags or to book page or something like that, a set like this might be just fine. This is 24 colors, and I believe it was about $18. That's not bad when it comes to watercolor. It does have a nice case, and it has this pretty pink, it's called Superior. I've never heard of that, so yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, it has a nice palette and pans. The colors, they do come wrapped, but you just unwrap them. So here is the label. I kept the label. They come like this. They come like this, right? So you just remove the label. If you want to keep the label, then you would just wrap it underneath like this. If you don't want to keep the label, of course you don't have to. It did not have a swash card that came with it, so I made my own. And I'm just going to show you some of it. This video would be too long, if we did a lot, but I can show you some of it. I hope I'm in frame. Okay, so I have my clean water here, my dirty water here. Usually when I'm watercolor painting, the clean water becomes the dirty water real quick because I forget myself and put my dirty brush into the wrong side, but never mind. That's a personal problem, right? So there we go. That's permanent yellow. Permanent lemon yellow. And this is cad yellow medium. That's pretty. This is Indian yellow. I always like Indian yellow. It just has a nice glow to it, you know. It's kind of a yellow orangey. Has a nice glow. It's good for like sunsets, things like that. So this is yellow ochre. Scarlet. Boy, that's... No, maybe not. I was thinking maybe that's pretty opaque, but maybe not. Some watercolors, or some colors of watercolor are more opaque than translucent, which I don't really care for that, but you know, some artists do. It just depends, I suppose. This one is a color I have never heard of before. It's Pons, and I wasn't really sure. It's hard to read those little labels. Some Ponzelli red ochre or something like that. So yeah, I've never heard of that before. And I'll get some of that picked up so I can still see the color. Not that I would probably use that very much. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the way I did this before is to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7. Oops. I got the wrong one, guys. Oops. Yeah, I did this earlier and I didn't have any problems because as I unwrapped them, that's when I swashed them. And now I'm trying to do it when they're in. So, you know, that's a lesson for you that when you're swashing, I can't even say the word. Swashed. You know what I'm trying to say. When you're doing this, it's best to do it as you're unwrapping them and before you actually put them in the pan here. And that way you can keep yourself straight on where you are and not mess up like I just did. As my dad always said, do as I say, not as I do. So, this is madder red, hopefully. Yep. Okay. And this should be violet, which it is. Now sometimes when artists is doing that, they actually, you know, go over the words or the descriptions they put down just to see how transparent the paint is or the color is. And they also put on here, you know, the light fastness and what colors actually make up the color. Is it a pure color, or has it been mixed with something else? And that normally shows on the label of watercolors, not these. So, you know, it's kind of a... But like I said, you know, I wouldn't treat these as professional watercolors at all. I would, but they would be great to use in doing some crafting, you know, like I said. This is not for, you know, artists. That would be a different channel, right? That's pretty. Okay, so at the top again, we got, oh, I stopped saying the, okay, so we had violet, permanent violet, sea blue, and cobalt. Okay, now up here, hopefully I'm in frame, up here we have French ultramarine, which typically is a favorite color of mine. So yeah, these colors are, you know, for the most part coming out how I would expect given the name. Like I said, some of the names I don't even recognize, so I don't know how that's supposed to look or how it typically looks. This is Persian blue, which is another one of my favorites. The next one here is indigo. It's a really dark. It's a nice one to use when you're making a dark to replace not using black. This one is a really good one to use for mixing, you know, a really dark. Okay, this one is yellow green. So yeah, I would say, you know, for $18, this is not a bad set to get, just to play around, just to have some colors that you can use, you know, for different things. I don't think you're going to be... Okay, that was yellow green. Okay, this one was tree green, and the next one here is hooker. Hooker green is another one of my favorites, and one that I would use when mixing darks to get a, you know, to get something like a black. You're never going to get black, but what you get is actually better than black out of a tube. You get a nice dark anyway. I usually use a dark blue, a dark green, and a dark red to get to that dark color. Okay, the next one here is emerald green deep. And I haven't done any playing with these colors yet at all. I don't know how they mix. I don't know if they're granulating. I don't know what their movement is like. This one is Payne's Gray. A lot of times Payne's Gray has a blue tint. I do not find a blue tint in this one. It's more of a neutral. Okay, the next one here is Burnt Sienna. Which I'm kind of surprised on this one. Burnt Sienna usually has more, when it says burnt, it usually has more of a red tone. And I'm not seeing a red tone in this. The next one is Umber. And this blank one that you're seeing right here, that was black. And I'll tell you where that went. But I have an empty pan here. If I want to fill it with some other color. And this last one is burnt brown, which again does not have a red tint to it. So I'm not sure why it's called burnt, but unless I'm reading the label wrong, you know, like I said, the writing on the labels is quite small. And, oops, I almost stuck a dirty brush in my clean water. Okay. So, all right. So there you go. So there they are, guys. So yeah. It's not a bad set for just messing about and, you know, getting color onto things or what have you. Let's see. Let me cut this out. Oops. It's still wet. So I don't want to mess up my little swash thingy. Okay, so this isn't the best paper. I mean, it's good for doing that, but you know, it's not the best paper for watercolor. But let's just get it wet. And I'm gonna get some, oops, I need that. I'm gonna get some emerald green. Load the brush. Drop it in and see what happens. Drop it in and see what happens. Okay, so there's no movement. There's no movement. Which, you know, some artists prefer that. I don't. I like watercolors that explode. But a lot of artists like that. It does give you more control, that's for sure. So yeah, so let's see. Let's see. Let's mix it with some blue. Let's use the sea blue. Okay. And see how these mix. Yeah, that gave us kind of like a pretty turquoise, didn't it? So yeah, that's all right. Let's see what happens when we do yellow. This is a drier part of the paper. Yellow and let's see, yellow ochre. Let's do scarlet. Okay. So this part of the paper is drier. It didn't have water already, so it's wet on dry. And is it mixing? Maybe I need more yellow in there. The red is overtaking the yellow. So I need to get more yellow in there. So that's giving us an orangey color. So yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, I don't know about painting with these paints, but they're great for messing about and using different elements in our journals and getting some color onto things and not spending a lot for it. You know what I mean? So, you know. Let's see, what does Payne's Gray do? Just put some Payne's Gray in there. Yeah, I like Payne's Gray that has more of a blue to it. This Payne's Gray is pretty opaque too, it seems like. I don't know if these are drying chalky or not. I don't know. I don't see it. Of course, you know, I don't have a whole lot of experience with watercolors that are not professional grade. The watercolors I use are all, you know, professional grade watercolors. So I don't have a whole lot of experience with things that aren't. But, you know, like I said, I wasn't doing this for artists. I was doing this for, you know, people that, like me, that do junk journals and, you know, like to decorate and like to add some color. And, you know, this would make a nice set for doing that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. That's, that goes in the garbage. So, there's our colors. And yeah, like I said, this is the set, you know, if you want to get something so you can play around with it. It's not a bad price for what you get. But anyway, so that's all for today. Thank you for stopping by my studio to see what I was up to. I appreciate the company. Please have a conversation. Send me a comment. Even if you just want to say hi. Yeah. So send me a comment. Please like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Most of the time I'm working on junk journals or ephemera for a junk journal, but occasionally I will do other things and venture out. So you just never know sometimes. So until next time, please take care of you. Love each other. And I'll see you again. Bye.